Take a look at these two images. Can you tell the difference? One is a shot from a dedicated macro lens and the other one is a shot from the iPhone 14 Pro. Pretty cool, right? So guys, in today's video we are talking about macro photography and more specifically macro photography of the iPhone 14 Pro and also the iPhone 13 Pro that are at the time of recording this video the only phone that are supporting the macro mode. So I'll share with you all the things that I've learned on this macro photography. That first of all you have to know that is only on the ultra-wide lens and is not supported by the iPhone 12 Pro and below, and also for all the regular iPhone in the lineup. But at the end I'll explain you why for me this mode is almost useless. So of course stick around till the end. Okay, let's start from the good things, because you have to know that the iPhone 14 Pro with the ultra-wide lens can focus till 1 centimeter. That is super impressive. And if you are curious to know the difference between a phone with the macro mode and a phone without, this is the iPhone 12 Pro, and on this lens the ultra-wide lens can focus only till 10.5 centimeters, so a big difference I think. And one of the distinct facts between a macro lens and on the ultra-wide of a regular iPhone is the fact that you can have a little bit of bokeh behind the subject. And then, for me at least, I think that this is the coolest thing you can shoot in Apple Pro also when you are shooting in this macro mode. But before sharing all the tips and tricks that I've learned using this macro mode, I want to let you know that this is the last week where I will promote my preset. So if you don't know what I'm talking about, I've created 2 packs of presets. One is specifically made for iPhone and the other is specifically made for classic cameras like mirrorless, drone, 360 cameras and also action cameras. With both of these presets, the look that I was aiming at the time that I was created the preset was a natural look. So if you are like me and you like the fact that your photo is very similar to the moment that you have taken, this preset will be perfect for you. They work both with the RAW shot and both with the JPEG shot. And inside the pack you will find also a guide where I will teach you how to install the preset on all the Lightroom flavors, so Lightroom Classic, Lightroom CC and also Lightroom Mobile. And then I will teach you how to properly use this preset. Don't forget that this is the last week of this sale, and if you are interested you can find the link down below. So guys, let's go back to the video and let me show you how to properly set up the macro mode, because there is I think a needing feature that you have to enable in order to have the full control of this mode. To do this you have to go to the settings and then you have to scroll down to camera, and here you have to scroll down onto the bottom and enable the macro control, because by default is disabled. I suggest you to do this because if not, when the phone detects that the subject is very close to the lens, whatever the lens you are shooting, the phone will automatically switch to the ultra wide. But the problem is that doing that the phone automatically reframe the ultra wide shot to the current lens, and this could be a big problem in the case, for example, that you are using the 2x camera and because again the phone recognizes that the subject is too close to focus with the 2x camera, automatically switch to the ultra wide. But the problem is that doing this the frame will be the same but starting from the ultra wide, so basically the phone will do a huge crop on the lens. So enabling the macro control, you will have the abilities to enable or disable the macro control when you needed. So I highly suggest you that you will enable the macro control. So another cool things about the macro mode is that this is not a software feature but is an optical feature. So this means that this mode will work with video and also with the action mode, for example, but also in the slow-mo shooting mode. So basically with every shooting mode you also have the macro mode. And for example, if you are taking a photo in the dark and you need to use the night mode, the macro mode will work also with the macro mode, because again it's optical and not software. So guys, after this let's jump into the conclusions, because I want want to explain you why this mode is not for me. Even though it's very nice that now we have the possibility to have a lens that can close from very distant till very close, because as I told you, the minimal focus distance is about 1 centimeter. But if you're looking to create a pleasing image, I think that the ultra wide is not the right lens. Instead, in that case, or for that purpose, I suggest you to use the 3x, because the 3x has an hidden feature that is the fact that it is very capable to focus to a very close distance. In fact, throughout my testing, throughout my measurement, I've discovered that the 3x can close till 70 centimeters. But the difference is that since it is a 3x lens, this means that the phone can focus to a subject very close. And using a longer lens, the result that you will have is much more pleasant compared to using the 0.5x on the same subject. And you can see here throughout this video a lot of examples where the 3x performed much better. And this is particularly noticeable when you are shooting a subject not from the top but from an angle. And in that case, the stretched perspective of ultra wide angle lens really showed up. And so this is the reason why in some instances the ultra wide is too distorted to create a pleasant image. Unfortunately though, the 3x is not a perfect lens, because as I told you, is not a macro lens, so you can see that in that case the result of the macro lens is much closer compared to the 3x. But considering is 70 centimeters of minimal distance, I think that the result is very usable if you're looking to get a close-up shot. Also, another big problem that you will solve if you decided to go on this route basically is that when you are shooting a subject very close with the ultra wide lens, you have to be very close to the subject, and this, in the case that you have for example the sun behind you, will cause a big shadows. But it's not the case with the 3x, because when you're shooting with the 3x you are more distant from the subject. So this is another reason why I prefer the 3x compared to the 0.5x. But if for a photo I don't like so much the 0.5x, this is not completely true for a video, because I think that the ultra wide angle lens effect in a video is pretty cool, and aside to be pretty cool, is also very useful, because for example if you're looking to create a shot where you start very distant from the subject and then you have to get very close, the macro mode is perfect. So I think that the macro mode is more helpful for videos compared to photos. That's it guys for this video. Don't forget to check out also all the other video that I made for the iPhone 14 Pro, and I leave the playlist at the end of the video. Subscribe to this channel if you don't want to miss other content like this, and of course drop a like to tell YouTube that you're liking this video, and don't forget also to follow me on Instagram. I'll see you in the next one. Bye!